I'm now being joined on a news track by Mrs. Tosin Ojo, the head of research at Cardinal Stone, to discuss the visit of the IMF team and its implications for Nigeria. You're welcome to News Track, Mrs. Ojo.
Thank you.
Now, what's your impression of the visit of the IMF boss coming barely 7 months after this administration came on board?
Well, it's an opportune time for Christine Lagarde to come to Nigeria, considering the external environment and the implications for a monoproduct-based economy like Nigeria. Whilst the visit has, caused a lot of suspicion from people, we need to note that it's in line. It's normal for IMF to embark on these types of visits during this time. The last time they were here was in 2011 December, and at that time they also went to Niger, and she also went to South Africa. This time, particularly, oil prices have come to the lowest, maybe in the last 8 to 10 years. Today, maybe about $36 per barrel. And for a monoproduct economy like Nigeria, there are clearly fiscal vulnerabilities. And because of that, the IMF chief has to come to Nigeria to look at, to have discussions with the authorities of the economy, the monetary policy, the fiscal policy, on how exactly to navigate and to manage this time. So that really is the essence of the visit. Okay.
Now, the IMF chief appears to be impressed with the government in its anti-corruption drive. Now, what's the implication of this for the country?
The anti-corruption drive is very important in whatever solution Nigeria would arrive at to improve our economy in the longer term. One of the most easily remembered visits of the IMF to Nigeria was in the 80s, when we got the IMF loan and structural adjustment program and things that happened. But one of the things that we have failed to realize as a nation, that's part of the reasons IMF interventions or suggestions, part of the reasons why they don't work, is because of our because of corruption, because of the lack of competitiveness, because of the lack of infrastructure, so many other things in the economy. So you cannot exactly separate the fight against corruption to the long-term economic initiatives of in the country. So we need to diversify the economy, we need to build infrastructure, we need to do a lot of other things to reduce our reliance on oil and improve our source of FX receipts, because that is a part of the discussions the IMF chief had with the president and the minister of finance. But in all of that, corruption takes a pivotal role, because corruption will set us back as a country, and corruption will not let us have very strong institutions that will be able to push forward this or implement these policies. So corruption is pivotal to whatever improvements we will have in the long term in this country.
People were apprehensive about her visit. Do you think her comments on the country's economy may have doused their fears?
Well, I think to a great extent, a comment would have doused those fears. However, I think that it's not completely. So when she said that she has not come to negotiate alone, yes, that's true for this visit. She also mentioned that the War for Technical Assistance, they'll come and look at our budget. They have a whole team in IMF who does that. We must always remember that financial assistance is one of the pivotal roles or functions of the IMF, apart from surveillance and technical assistance. So lending, it's always on the table if Nigeria has come to a point where we need support for our weak balance of payment position, or to support our FX supply. It's not on the table now. If you also remember, we have budgeted about $4.5 billion to get from foreign sources. That amount of money cannot come from only international capital markets. You cannot issue Euro bonds for all of that. So we need a combination of multilateral financing, and clearly, whether from IMF or from World Bank Paris, or whether we need IMF's assessment to be able to assess those loans, financing is on the table, at least in the short term.
Thank you so much for sharing your thoughts with us. We've been speaking with Mrs. Tosin Ojo. She is the head of research at Cardinal Stone. Thank you for joining us on News Track.